UFC Fight Night Holloway versus Allen coming up this Saturday, April 15th. I've got the money shot core play for you on Prize Picks. We're going to get into all that. I'm trying to get a full 5 flex going, but it's tricky. This card is tricky. I've got 4 or 5 plays that I really, really like. But of course, before we get into that, full accountability. So I'd been riding a really impressive, I thought, 5-0 win streak of just having more wins than losses 5 weeks in a row. We've been crushing it really for the UFC plays, and that kind of came to an end this past weekend. I want to talk a little bit about that, why it came to an end here. And I've got the ticket I put together on last week's breakdown. And of course, Luana Pinheiro, man, what a disappointment. That is one of the challenges with women's MMA. You see Pinheiro in a previous fight getting 5 or 6 takedowns in one fight, and you're like, she's a takedown maniac. Well, as it turns out, sometimes in women's MMA, it's just your opponent sucks and can't stop a takedown, so you keep doing it. But we saw in this particular fight with Pinheiro that, she's not that person. She tried a bunch of takedowns. Michelle Watterson was just too good. She was able to stop the takedowns. It's that simple. The attempts were there. The skill set was there for the opponent, and that's just how it went. So we lost that more than 1.5 takedown spot. Another spot that we lost was the Burns less than 2.5 takedowns. And I think it's noteworthy here that just the problem was basically Jorge Masvidal had pretty much quit before the fight started. We found out at the end of the fight, he effectively retired from MMA, was not in shape. Burns hitting 4 takedowns. That is the most takedowns he's ever hit in a 3-round fight. He had never even gotten past 3. So, those things happen. And the last leg that we lost last week, Adesanya, less than 97.5. I stand by that one. It took a second round finish. Adesanya was losing that fight. He just landed a good punch, and he just happened to do it in the second round. It took that early finish for him to get put up a 111 because the early finishes on PrizePicks just count for a lot of points. And that's just how it went. He just landed a punch, but he was getting beat. I thought Adesanya had a reasonable chance of losing, and I thought that, and I still believe that if they fought this fight 5 more times, and these guys have fought a bunch of times, probably 6 or 7 times out of 10, you will get a sub 97.5 score from Adesanya. But that's how variance works in MMA. So we move on, and let me jump over to today's card. And I kept this up on screen because I want you guys to know, and we got the money shot, okay? We got the money shot this week. Core play with Zach Cummings. The money shot with Cummings. Think about it. But anyway, I wanted to leave this on screen because, I gave this play out in the DFS Army Prize Picks Discord. And I gave it out before the video because those people who subscribe deserve to get the information first. And that's kind of how I feel. So I gave it out there, and the number moved. And that's what's going to happen. And it moved here as I'm prepping for the video. I've got the entry here on screen just to show you. And that's what's going to happen. And that's one of the reasons you need to be in our Discord getting these plays, before we put them out on video, before they move, because we're catching plus EV plays, and PrizePicks sees it and they move the line. So yeah, you'll get slightly worse numbers. Last week that happened with the Kelvin Gastelum play, which by the way did cash. And it even the moved number cashed as well. But after I put out the video, the Gastelum underscore went from 73.5 to 71 or 70.5, something like that. And it barely squeaked out a win there. Barely. So these lines are moving, and all I could say is get in the Discord and be a part of our premium Discord. You could sign up with a link in the description below. But the money shot play, Zach Cummings, now is going to be under 82.5 because 85.5 is gone. So I'm going to explain the reasoning for this play, and it's very simple. I still love it even at 82.5. So don't tell PrizePicks just yet. Get your lineups in. It's Flex Friday. Get some lineups in using Zach Cummings. Now, here's the deal. It's very, very simple for me. Zach Cummings will need to win inside the distance to put up 82.5 points. He is not an action fighter. He is not a guy who's going for a lot of takedowns, and his opponent is a big goon that is difficult to take down and unlikely to be finished. So let's take a look at the Cummings wins inside the distance. Money shot. Cummings, money shot. The Cummings wins inside the distance prop is plus 210 for an implied probability around an actual no VIG implied probability around 68%, meaning not 68%, the opposite. An implied probability of 32% for him to win inside. Yeah, 32% for him to win inside the distance, meaning that there is a 68% chance, according to the odds makers, no VIG, that Cummings will go to decision. Cummings does not score. He doesn't do enough via the PrizePicks scoring system to put up 82.5 points. A decision win is 20. So he needs to get us there with strikes landed or takedowns defended. His opponent here, not likely to go for very many takedowns, Eddie Herman. Let me pull this one up here on the stat screen so you understand. I'm taking a little extra time with the money shot, Zach Cummings, the money shot, because this is my favorite play on the card. So Cummings is landing an anemic 2.58 strikes landed per minute. Where are the fantasy points coming from? Right? Only landing a couple strikes per minute. As far as takedowns, he is really not going for many takedowns at all. And for me, his best chance of actually putting up some points are takedowns defended again via Eddie Herman. But what if Ed Herman could also land those takedowns, and that's going to even further mute any potential scoring for Zach Cummings here, and that would probably lead to a win by Herman. So there are just a lot of arrows pointing. My thing here is I think Cummings can win this fight by decision and not hit the 85.5 and not hit the 82.5 money shot. So we get the benefit of, if Herman wins at all, of course we win this bet. If Cummings wins, but wins by decision, we win this bet. And there's even a small chance, although unlikely, if he does win inside the distance. Well, listen, if you thought he was going to win inside the distance, bet it on the sportsbook. You can get plus 200 odds. You don't need to put together a multi-leg parlay. You're gonna triple your money. You're gonna get the 2-1. You're gonna triple your money. Well, get back 300 just with the one leg. So if you think he's going to win inside the distance, just bet that plus 210. But assuming that you don't think that, and we don't think that, and the odds makers don't think that, we're just playing the odds and the probabilities here. So effectively, we have a 68% chance of this bet hitting. I love it. Money shot, Zach Cummings. Under. Now, 82.5, not 85.5, because you didn't get it in the DFS Army Discord, but 82.5 under. All right. That's one. We got some more to go. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 picks played out. We're going to have to add one to fully take advantage of Flex Friday. I like to do 5 legs, but I'm going to put this in as well. So next up, Dustin Jacoby, less than 89.5 fantasy score. And this play is very, very similar to the Cummings play, except there is a caveat here. Number one, Dustin Jacoby is a much higher volume striker than Zach Cummings. Much higher. There's also the potential here for takedowns defended, as his opponent has not gone for takedowns in the UFC, but he'd be really, really stupid not to go for takedowns against Jacoby. Now, the flip side is Jacoby is not a massive favorite to win this fight. He is currently minus 165, maybe 170 in certain books to win this fight. So, number one, he needs to win. But Jacoby can actually get there. He needs to win, but he can get there even in a decision if he either lands a massive volume of strikes. I don't think that's likely here because, again, his opponent is likely to use some grappling in this fight and maybe go for some takedowns. So I would expect maybe prolonged periods of Jacoby on his back potentially. But if it does stay strike, I mean, there could be there is the danger of takedowns defended points being accumulated by Jacoby, but I don't expect a lot, maybe a couple. So that'd be potential for 6 points there. But the biggest concern here is Jacoby does have the ability to land a high volume of strikes. At this salary, at this level, let's go back to, I'm going to pull this here so I don't make a mistake. At this level, he would need 60, 70, 80. He would need to land 100 significant strikes to get that 60 points. And then the 20-point bonus that gets you to 80. So beyond that, he'd have to defend maybe 3 or 4 takedowns to hit the 89.5. I like our chances here, is what I'm saying. This one isn't as locked in for me as the money shot, Cummings, the money shot, but I really like it. So Dustin Jacoby, less than 89.5 fantasy score. That's leg number 2. I'll give that a tier 3 designation. All right, next up, we've got Chris Gutierrez. We're going fantasy score today. This was a tough slate to find, to find other spots. So we're sticking a lot with fantasy score here. Chris Gutierrez, less than 85.5 fantasy score. And again, this is just understand. I actually have footage of these two fighters and what's going to happen in this fight, which I'm going to show you in a second. No one has this but me. I was able to get cameras in the gym. I know what these guys are going to do. But here's what's really important to note. Gutierrez and Pedro Munoz both are prolific leg kickers. They are not high volume strikers. Let's take a look. Right? Neither one of these guys is really going for a takedown. Almost never. I don't expect it to happen here. Knockdowns, maybe. But takedowns, no. No one's going for takedowns here. They both have really good takedown defense. Strikes landed per minute, sitting right at about 5 for both fighters. Meaning, on a 3-round fight, we're looking at 75 strikes landed on average. Could go up a little bit, could go down. But let's say we're up a little bit. We're at 85. We're at 100. That's 60 fantasy points. If you get to 100, neither one of these guys is likely to get to 100. But let's say they got to 100. 60 fantasy points plus the 20-point bonus for the decision. That's 80. All right, we're winning. He's got to get to 85. How's he getting there with no takedowns and no other grappling points? Now, here's the other part about this. So let's take a look at the odds, the inside the distance odds for Chris Gutierrez. Gutierrez wins inside the distance. Where is it? Oh. Munoz inside the distance. All right, here we go. Gutierrez inside the distance plus 285. That puts us about a 26% chance. 26. So if Gutierrez is not winning inside the distance, he is super unlikely to put up 85 points. It's that simple. He doesn't go for a takedown. His opponent doesn't go for a takedown. I mean, there could be knockdowns along the way. That would get him there. But he's a leg kicker. And as a bonus, I have some advanced footage. So Gutierrez and Munoz are known as two of the most prolific leg kickers in the UFC. They're leg kickers, right? That's both of their style. So I got a little footage of how. And you notice what happens here. A little leg kick. There it is. There it is. We know what's going down. Can't hear the music, but it's pretty awesome. Let's hope that doesn't get this kicked off of YouTube. Advanced preview of that fight for you guys. So, with all that being said, Chris Gutierrez, less than 85.5 fantasy score. We're not done. We're not done. We've gone 3 of them. My last play on the card here. Max Holloway, more than 132.5 significant strikes. We'll put the plays in here in a minute, but let me finish. Max Holloway, more than 132.5 significant strikes. And before I show you why, smash that like button. Let me know that you're out there. If I can get 200 likes on this video, we're going to pick somebody from the commenters that's not currently subscribed to DFS Army for the props subscription. And we're going to pick you out to get a free month trial of our Proptimizer tool. So get me 200 likes on this thing and leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite prop is on this card. And we'll pick one of you guys to give you a free month subscription to DFS Army, to our premium Discord, where you get these plays. You don't have to wait. You don't have to get the lesser fantasy score. You don't have to get the worst score because we put it out in the Discord first. PrizePicks changes the price. No, you'll get it before. So hammer that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments, which is your favorite prop? Which one do you think is your money shot? Cummings, money shot. All right. Last play here, Max Holloway. More than 132.5 significant strikes. Now, this one's very simple. First, in order to get to that many significant strikes, we need a long fight. For Max Holloway, we probably need at least 4 rounds of striking. So let's take a look at the inside the distance props on this fight, and fight over 4.5 rounds, minus 127, meaning the lean here is for the fight to go the full 5 rounds. We'll probably need that in order to get this. Now, if either one of these guys finishes this inside the distance, especially within 4 rounds, we're going to be screwed. That's how it goes. There's a few different ways we can get screwed, but that's one of them. Fight goes the distance is minus 130. Just all right. Just all right. The thing about Holloway is, though, he could get there in 4 rounds. We've seen Holloway put out. He is one of the most prolific volume strikers ever in the history of the UFC. It's not a lock button that he's going to get over 130 or massively over that amount in a 5 round, but super likely. And if we take a look at a couple of his recent performances, let's go back to the Holloway. Holloway put up 400 plus significant strikes and 225 significant 5-rounder just 2 fights ago. So I believe he had 400 plus significant strikes landed against Calvin Kattar. He had over 200 significant strikes landed against Yair Rodriguez. So this guy, he's a volume monster, averaging 7.24 significant strikes per minute. Again, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35 plus per round. 70 for 2 rounds, 140 for 4 rounds if he hits the average. If we get the 5th round, great. That's the one that gives us that cushion. So I really like this spot. I'm going to call it a tier 3. Max Holloway, more than 132.5 significant strikes. Now, we're going to put this one in 4 out of 4. It's Flex Friday, but I just want to record this one. So I'm going to do a 4-play power play with this grouping right here. Place that. Boom. Now, one other thing I'm going to show you real quick is the DFS Army Proptimizer tool, because I would rather have, let's reuse these players. I'd rather have a 5-leg. It's Flex Friday. Got to put a flex in. So I've got NBA opened up here. Let me just refresh the screen and see where we're at. Okay, so right here, we've got a 58% implied probability leg on Kobe White, under 3 rebounds. Let me see if I like these like that. They're all similar plays. Over 9.5. Ooh, I like this one. Bam, total rebounds over 9.5. Yeah, I'm liking that even more. So let's go with that. Let's add in Bam over. What was the prop again? Forgot. Bam, total rebounds over 9. Okay, let's go back to it here. Bam, total rebounds over 9. Let me see what he's been doing lately. Ugh, gross. But it's the playoffs, and you lean on your studs a little bit. The lean is there for Bam. So YOLO. Let's put this one in as a 5 flex so we can take advantage of our Flex Friday as well. Man, I hate Bam though. I really do. Wait, I gotta rethink it. I hate Bam. Let's take a look again at Colby White. This is rebounds under 3. Let's see. I probably should play Bam, but I hate Bam. It always burns me. Always burns me, man. How's he doing on rebounds? Yeah. I'm doing this one instead. because I hate Bam. I'll probably put them both in there, but I hate Bam. So I'm going to go Colby White, less than 3 rebounds. That's a 5 flex. Boom, put it in. The other thing I'm going to do here, guys, is I am going to show you there are occasions when the old 2-play power play is worthwhile, and the Cummings play, money shot, is worth it in a power play. I'm going to go money shot and Chris Gutierrez as my 2-play worth it power play. We're gonna up the stakes here a little bit as we have a 68% implied probability for this one hitting and about a 62%er for the Gutierrez play. I like those odds. So we're going to raise up the stakes a little bit and put that one in as well. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the UFC breakdown. Remember, if you want to be in the Discord and get these plays before the lines move, before we put the video out and the line moves, sign up in the link in the description below. You can also get access to our best in the biz Proptimizer tool. This is no joke. Every sport, quickly identify the odds to hit. We are not projecting these numbers. These numbers come off the sportsbook line. So the assumption with the Proptimizer tool, and we're adding projections, we're adding so many features to this, but the assumption with the Proptimizer tool is that the sportsbook is correct. Meaning, what we're saying is the sportsbook lines are pretty close to accurate. And so when they're far away from what the PrizePicks line is, those make for good plays, and we can calculate the odds for these plays to hit based on our own internal proprietary formulas. So make sure you sign up for the DFS Army prop subscription. You get access to our Discord, dropping plays all day, live plays constant throughout the day, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., PrizePicks, whenever you want. They're happening. And also this incredible tool and get all the picks in advance. So sign up, link in the description below. I will see you guys next time. Let's cash those tickets.